بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد أشرف المرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. I just want to recap what we did last week. Just do it quickly. We saw two types of question. A tasdik question, basically a question where you answer only yes or no. Okay, we'll just keep it simple tonight. Tasdik. The answer to that question is yes or no. Then tasawwur opens it up a bit. The answers are not just yes and no. So the tools that we saw was Hamza, and we said that Hamza could be used in tasdeeq questions as well as tasawwur. Yeah, and then hal is just for tasdeeq, just for yes and no, and that's what we're going to see tonight. Then we will look at the rest of the question words. Don't have to think much about it. Anything that's not hal or they are all tasawwur. Yeah, tasawwur. So we saw Hamza, how it worked with tasdeeq questions, and it usually comes in a jumla fi'liyah for that. And when there is a choice, it is not really a choice. It actually means bal, and the that comes with it is munqata'a. Then we saw Hamza with tasawwur, yes, and there is of course the choice, and that particular is called mutasila because there is a connection between the two choices. Then we saw special things about Hamza. It comes before half ataf. This is the most special one because the rest is basically what the other question words can do, and it's the only one that allows itself to be removed and still maintain a question in the sentence. Okay, then we saw the examples of that. So today we're going to begin with hal, and as I said before, it's only for tasdeeq. Yes, no. Yeah, very simple, hal. There is no mu'adil, nothing to compare things with because there is no choice. Yes, so we cannot write this sort of sentence with hal. Yeah, we don't use it with hal. We have to use And then hal has a tendency to push the meaning to the future. Yes, you're asking about something that has not happened. And in the Quran, it's usually has the meaning of nafi, negation. Yeah, and other meanings, secondary meanings, amar, takrir, tawbih, tahsar. Tawbih and tahdid are two similar things. Tawbih more for something that is in the past. Tahdid is something that you want someone to do. So you kind of like nag them to do it. Yeah, so that's tahdid. Tawbih is when they didn't do it and so you're scolding them for not doing it. Yeah. This one, it means to complain. Yeah, basically to complain or to moan or lament about something. Yeah, so that's what the hal is all about. Now, some examples that we see, I just said that it's tasdeeq, yes and no, but I'm going to show you something that looks as if there is a choice. Yeah, so look at this one. So we have قُلْ هَلْ يَسْتَوِي الْأَعْمَى وَالْبَصِيرُ أَمْ هَلْ تَسْتَوِي الظُّلُمَاتُ وَالنُّورُ. I have an here. You said there was no choice. It's yes and no. Yes, it is still yes and no because there are two sentences here. Yeah, two questions actually. And this is actually between the two questions or question sentences and not a single sentence. Yeah, it's two separate sentences joined by this So is really ataf here. Say, is the blind equivalent to the seeing? Of course, it's a yes and no answer. In this case, no. Yeah, the blind is not equivalent to the seeing. Or is darkness equivalent to light? So again, the answer is no. Darkness is not equivalent to light. Yeah. So although it looks as if there is a choice, actually it's just two separate questions joined by or. Then we have something here. هل جزاء الإحسان إلا إحسان. Yeah. So here, oh, sorry. Here as well, is the reward for good anything but good? Yeah. So this also is a, this case, the answer is yes. Yes, the reward of good is all good. Yeah, there's no bad in the reward for good. So yes. So as you can see, questions in the Quran, although we say that you can answer it, like in this case, no, the blind is not equivalent, there is a secondary meaning, just like this, yeah? There is a secondary meaning to it. So, but this is, like I said, we're not going to cover this because we've already covered it. So what we'll do is, as we go along with Surah Yasin, when we come across a question sentence, inshallah, we see how to look at it from a balagha point of view. We look at the secondary meaning. But for now, we just look at it as tasdeeq and tasawwur. So where is hal not used and hamza is? Okay, because sometimes, like we saw just now, we can't use hal. Yeah, especially when there is no yes or no to the answer. It's not used with a negative question. Okay, so we don't say, is he not a Muslim? Yeah, we don't say hal laisa musliman. We say alaisa musliman. And it's not used with a jumla haliyah. Now, this wow is wow haliyah. So, do you belittle Ali while he's being brave? We don't say it with hal. We say it with a. Yeah, a tahtakir. It is not used before inna. Yeah. So we don't say hal innal amirun musafir. Is the king traveling? But with the emphasis, we would translate it something like, is the king really traveling? Yeah, after his sickness or whatever it is. Yeah, so is he really traveling? So in this sort of question, we don't use hal. We still use a. It is not used in a conditional sentence. Will you honor me if I visit you? Yeah, so we don't say hal iza zurtuka. I think I'm not sure how to do this. Takramni. Sister Zeba, can you help me out with this? Do you know?
إذا زرتك
Zurtuka, yeah, I think so. Zurtuka.
yeah. تكرم
Takramni. Yeah, because this is like a
تكرمني.
command. Yeah. Alhamdulillah. Oh, sorry. And it's not used before a connecting particle. We saw this. You said the only particle or half is yeah, that goes before and after. So hal, definitely you can't put it before a connecting particle. And is he a Muslim? Yeah. It is not used with a question when the fi'l comes later. So what's happening here is we have, how do you say, what abnormal sentence structure. Yeah. Instead of the fi'l coming at the beginning of the jumla fi'liyah, you see that abasharan, the maf'ul is coming before the fi'l. Yeah. So in this sort of case, we do not use hal. We use a. If this had been in front, nattabi'uhu was in front, basharan, then we can say hal nattabi'uhu. But in this case, because it's abnormal sentence structure, we use a. Yeah. So these are the cases where hal is not used and hamza is. Okay. Right. Let's look at the other question words. Tasawwur faqat. Only tasawwur. Yeah, all the other question words, those two, hamza and hal, both are, they are harfan. Yeah, they are particles. But all the other question words are isms. And when they are isms, automatically they have all the four status that we learned. Yeah, and so we need to be careful. The first one is man. Yeah, man, as you know, is not only just a question word. It can be some other things as well. So, but in this case, we concentrate on question words. Man yatlubu biha ta'yinul uqala. Uqala is actually the plural of akil. Akil is your ism fa'il, yeah, for akala. So, as you can see, it is a feminine plural. Alif hamza, yeah, alif mamduda. And this makes this word actually partly flexible, mamnu min as-sarf. But we are using it here in the statement with alif lam. Of course, when it is marfu, you will see the dhamma, but you will also see that because there is alif lam, in my next slide, it will come with a kasrah. Yeah, you will see that. But if we didn't have the alif lam, it will not come with a kasrah because it's mamnu min as-sarf because of the ta'nis mamduda. Yeah. So used to ask a question relating to a person. We know this. Man alafa kitaba riyadis salihin. So who authored the book Riyad as-Salihin? Yeah. Then we would answer. Alafa kitaba riyadis as-Salihin is of course our Imam An-Nawawi, Al-Imam Nawawi. Yeah. So he authored the book. Then we have ma. Ma sometimes come in the form of maza. This is what happens in the Quran. Yeah, maza is in the Quran. Ma yutlabu biha ta'yinun ghairil uqala'i. Yeah. Yeah, the only reason why it's kasrah here is because of the alif lam. So what do I mean by this? It of course clarifies. This is a simple question. Yeah, there's no secondary meaning to it. Right? A straightforward tasawwur question. Ma saqata fil ma', yeah, what fell into the water? Yeah, what fell into the water? No balarah in here. Yeah, there's no rhetoric or anything in here. Just a simple, straightforward question. But ma can also have different connotations, and there are three that was given in the book, the reference book that we're dealing with. This, the book that we are looking at is, I think you've heard of it, right? The Rusul Balagha. So this is the book that was used by all the three ustads that we have come across, we have learned from, yeah, from Ustad Numan. He referred to it, although he has his own favorite author for Balagha textbooks, references. And then it was used by Ustad Muhammad Helmi when we did our Balagha course as well. And is also referred to by Ustad Hashim Muhammad from Al-Kalam Institute when he did his Balagha lessons. Yeah. So this is the explanation that we have three types of ma. So the first ma, Ustad Hashim called it translation. In other words, you really don't know what the word is. It's a straightforward, I don't recognize this word. You know, so you're asking, no, ma asjad, no, or lujain, yeah, what's this? I don't understand this word. You know, so you're asking for someone to tell you what does asjad mean, what does lujain mean, the word itself. Yeah. So then it's actually asjad is gold, lujain is silver. Yeah. Or it could be a ma where you're asking for a definition. You know what it is. Okay, you know what the word is about, but you don't know how to put it in a technical form. Yeah, this was linguistic. You just don't know the word. You've never come across this word before. The other one is you know what it is, but you want something more technical to it. Yeah. How do I explain, for example, ma al-balagha? So then you are going to explain it is the science of, that we study about the different forms, ilmu ma'ani, yeah, ilmu badi, yeah. So these are the things when we talk about this type of ma, this sort of answering the question, not just a straightforward language thing, but you want a more technical definition of ma. Then we have a third category that he mentioned. I can't remember the author of the book, sorry. Inshallah, I will share it in the group once I refer back to the text. When it's actually asking about the condition of what is being mentioned. Yeah. So I should have a bracket here that says condition, but I have left it out. Now, this particular example was actually taken from a hadith. Okay. And it was a case of someone who, well, heard about Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, yeah, met him, came to him, and asked him, Ma anta, Ma anta, because he didn't understand what a Nabi was. Yeah, he did not understand what a Nabi was. What is this thing, this Nabi thing? What is it that you do? What is it that you bring? Things like that. So this is, well, it might seem like rude, right? You go up to a person and you say, "What are you?" So it's kind of like, in a way, kind of rude. But he was, yes. Sorry, Sister
Assalamu
Zeb.
alaikum, sister.
Alaikum salam tullah. Yes.
Sister, I want to know this word asjar, ma al asjar. Yeah,
Ma
is it
al
gold?
Azja. Yes,
Is
it's
it
another name for gold.
other
I
than
know.
zahab?
Yes, that's right.
So, what are the root letters, sister, here?
like
These four letters here, as far as
Four letters.
yes,
Okay,
yes. Ain, Sin,
that's why.
Jim, and Dal. Yeah.
Because I read sajada first and then asaja, and I thought.
So this is, yeah, like I said, it's not a word that so that's why
Yes,
you would ask, what is this? I've never seen this word before. Yes.
exactly.
So, yeah, yeah.
So it's rubai,
So
yeah?
it is zahab. Yeah, it is gold.
Okay.
Okay.
And for the
and
silver, the word
Yakut,
is
Lujain.
G, G,
Al
J,
Lujain.
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 So this looks
Okay.
like
Yeah.
like, yeah,
Okay.
like
Jasakillah.
four as well. Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
right. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So ma anta. So this was the thing. Yeah. What are you? More of, what is it that you're all about? Yeah. Something like that. Okay. That's ma. Then the next one is mata. Mata is like a zarf. It's an isim. When? Yeah. We're talking about, of course, time. Zaman. When we talk about zarf, we remind ourselves that it is within. The word zarf itself means like an envelope, inside time, inside a place. Yeah, because there are times when we use names of places or names of time, yeah, days, for example, but not in the context of being inside that. Yeah, this one we will come when we come across it. I will point it out, inshallah. So here we are clarifying the time. And we can do it either in the past tense or in the future when we want to ask. You can apply it for both cases. Yeah, mata. So we can say mata ja'a Zaidun. Did Zaid come? Or it could also mean mata sayaji'u Zaidun. When will Zaid come? Yeah, when we use it with a present tense in the future. So here's another one. وَيَقُولُونَ مَتَى هَذَا الْوَعْدُ إِن كُنتُمْ صَادِقِينَ. This particular verse, I did not put the surah because it appears nothing less than 8 times in the Quran. Yes, this one. So in various surahs. And they say, when is the fulfillment of this promise, if you should be truthful? I mean, they were really asking, in a way, I would say, asking for it. Yeah, because they just refuse to believe that it will come. So they're asking, bring it on. So this is where, like I said, it appears nothing less than 8 times in the Quran. Yeah, so this is also when. Then we have ayana. Now, this when is only meant for big events. Yeah, you don't say ayana, to ask someone, when are you coming, for example. Yeah, no, this is meant for big events, and in the Quran, it's only used when it is associated with anything to do with Yawmul Qiyamah, Yawmiddin, the day of when they were brought up, resurrected. Yeah, so ayana is used only for those occasions. So I don't think you use this in day-to-day speech. Yeah, this is in the Quran. Oh, sorry, 6 times. I thought it was 8. I counted it. And each time in connection with Yawmul Qiyamah. Then is Aina, where, again, this is also a zarf. Yeah, because we're talking about place. And you would ask a question, Aina satazhab? So where will you be going? I'll be going home. Fa'aina tazhabun? I should have said I'll be going to Japan. It's better that way. Going home doesn't sound So فَأَيْنَ تَذْهَبُونَ, we know this from Surah At-Takwir, when the question, like I said in the Quran, not really asking you where you're actually going, but, to make you think, where are you going? Where are you going with your life? Yeah, something like that. فَأَيْنَ تَذْهَبُونَ. So don't confuse this. This is, I need to point out as well, there are several words of istifham that are this looks the same like an isim shart. Yes, that's where you have aina. Sounds familiar to you, right? That's because we've seen it when we did shartiya. Yeah. So in this case, it is not a question. Aina ma takunu ya'ti bikumullahu jami'a. Yeah. Wherever you may be. Yeah. This is the condition. Allah will bring you forth for judgment altogether. You can't hide. Yeah. So this is the other aina. And aina is not the only one. I'll give you the list later on. So then ana. Now ana can take on 3 different meanings. Again, context. You have to look at the context to decide. Yeah. So how, I think it's in the Quran. Where I think that is not. When is not in the Quran. Yeah. Where and how is, but not when. So when I say to you, ana tadrus, you can say 2 things, because you're not sure whether I'm asking when or I'm asking where. Right. So I can answer both. Yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to study on Thursday, or I'm going to study in the madrasa. So here's one example. Ya Mariamu. This is asking where, from where actually. Yeah. Now in this ayat, the word ana means aina. Yeah, we saw just now what was aina. It is not zaman and not exactly makan, because you wouldn't say that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a place. Yeah, but that's where all the food came from. Remember, she was asked, where did all this food come from? Yeah, and she answered that. Yeah, huwa min indillah. So this is ana. This is another example of ana, and this is answering the question how. Yeah, but not in the Quran, no when. Kaifa and kam. How much, how many, and how. Yeah. There is something called kam habariyah. And we have kam istifhamiyah, which is the question word. But kam habariyah is still a question, only it's not meant, as I said, for an answer. You're asking something. You're like stating something rather than, or making a declaration. That's why it's called habariyah. But you're not really asking how much or how many. But we won't go into that, yeah? We just look at kam, that is istifhamiyah. Kaifa. So here is asking about the condition of someone. So here we said Zaid came happy, yeah? That's why we say kaifa is hal. And here another kaifa. How can we speak to one who is in the cradle, a child? Yeah? So this also is, it's not like really a question, right? Because it's more like saying, how do you expect us to speak to a child? The child's in the cradle. He can't speak yet. He can't talk yet, right? So it's not really a question, but we take it as a question that means how. Okay, we just take it as that. Because when I talk about Quranic examples, this is what happens. Come. So now you want to determine a number. So we give a day-to-day example here. Yeah, when you ask, kam kitaban ashtaraita? Yeah, then how many books did you buy? And then you answer, ashtaraitu ashrina kitaban. Yeah, I bought 20 books. So this is the usual question. Then, of course, we have a question that makes you think. Yeah, qala kam labistum fil ardi adada sinina. Okay, this is when they were resurrected. And Allah asked, how long do you think? Sorry?
Sister, the first example, Kaifa Ja'a Zaida.
Yes.
How can you please explain this again, please? How he
But
came?
yes, how he came. His
So
condition.
here, this is a question, right?
Yes, it's a question.
But in the other one, you said it's a question, but not a question. When Maryam al-Islam was asked, how can a child speak? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's
you're saying it's a question, but not a question.
yeah because it's
استعجاب. It's like يعني
Yeah.
يعني تسأل قومها أوكي كيف أن يعني how he can answer you and he is a child يعني
Yeah.
يعني
So
it is like questions answering by questions another questions it's like that you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
I have a friend with me who's come over and she's listening to your lecture.
Alhamdulillah.
She's mashallah, she's Qatari, so she's trying to explain me. She's an Arab, mashallah. So,
Ah,
so I
okay.
just wanted
It
to.
is called in Arabic استعجاب أو استفهام يعني استفهام
I
from
see.
yes it's like that.
Okay.
Alhamdulillah. Good. Maybe yes. Yeah, we
But
need
I
your
want,
help.
yeah. Mashallah, she's with me today, and I told her that I have a wonderful class. So she just joined with me. She's also listening to you. So, but I wanted to know when you said it's not a question, but it's a question, but not a question. But like when they asked, they were actually asking, right? How can we speak to a child? So is it not a question? Like
It
obviously
is.
they knew the answer, but yeah, is that
They are addressing her. I mean, you're asking us to speak to this child, that
yeah,
sort of question, but you know that this child cannot speak. So how
yes,
can we speak to one who's that's what they're telling her. But of
okay,
course, Isa spoke. Yes, even as a baby in the cradle, that's one of the miracles.
yes,
Yeah, so after that, I don't think they asked anymore.
okay,
So okay, yeah, that
okay,
sort of tone, yeah.
okay, sister.
Okay, alhamdulillah. So I is an ism like all the other question words, yeah, but it is what we say mu'rab. Yes, the other isms are mabni. So when you see the irab for the other isim words, isim question words, right? It will be fi mahali rafa, fi mahali nasab, or fi mahali jar. But no, it will be mansub, majrur, or marfu. Yeah, because it is fully flexible isim. I. Let's look at all the examples. Yeah. So here what it's basically saying is, right, that now mutasharikain, we're talking about two things. You know that this is dual. It's two things which are similar in a matter which how do I say, encompasses them both. Okay, that means they're in a similar they're in the same boat. Okay, basically they're in the same boat. Mutasharikain. And one of two things. Yeah, so this is one of two things. You can also say tamyiz instead of ta'yin because it differentiates as well. And we can ask anything to do with time, with condition, with numbers, with someone who is rational, non-rational person, things. And it all depends because I is mudaf. It depends on the mudaf ilay. Yeah, we look at the mudaf alai, then we know what we're talking about. Okay, so basically, it will depend on the mudaf alai. Whatever is the mudaf alai is about, that's what the question is about. So if we are asking about how do you say? You can use to ask about time and so on and so forth, depending. Let's look at an example. Then maybe it's clearer, right? So like this, for example, ayu, no, dhamma, it's rafa. Talibaini athka. So who of the two students is smarter? So here we're talking about humans, right? And here it is Rafa in status because the answer would be whoever the two student is, right? We would answer if let's say one is Ahmad, the other one is Ali. Ali is the smarter one, right? So it is a Muqtada Haba situation. Here we have ayya munqalabin yanqalibun. Yeah, and those who have wronged are going to know to which place of return they will be returned. Yeah, obviously it will be the nar, yeah, the fire. So here ayya, what status is ayah here? It's nasab, right? And here li ayyi, because it comes after lam, yeah, jar, half jar, and li ayyi yawmin ujjilat. For what day was it delayed, yeah, or postponed? Yeah. So we can have three different cases. And here we talked about things that are rational. This we're talking about place, yeah, munqalib, and zaman, talking about time. Yeah, so your mudaf ilai dictates what we are talking about. If it is a place, then we're talking about place. If it's someone, we're talking about someone. If it's a day, a time, we're talking about time. Yeah. So this is quite straightforward. This is how we understand questions to be. Yeah. When you ask a question about something, you mention it immediately after that question. Yeah, immediately after that question. So tarkib, sentence structure. Okay. We said just now, I'm going to emphasize again, that all the adawat of istifham is mabni except for I. Two of them are halves, that's why they're mabni. And the others are all isms, but they are always in that form. They don't change their endings. But I, yes, yeah, we saw just now IU, IYA, and IE. All right. Now, I'm going to do an exercise. And this is not an easy exercise, okay? So maybe what I'll do is I'll actually defer the exercise towards the end of the class. And I'll fast forward a bit. Instead of doing the exercise first, can we go through the general notes first, okay? Now, I just need to touch on this because this was mentioned. How does word order affect the question? Okay, so I have a question and I'm using hal, so it's a yes and no answer. But I've placed it in two different ways. Hal yaji'u Ali and hal aliyun yaji. Okay, so what's the difference between these two? What do you think, Sister Vinita? Any suggestions? هل يجيء علي؟ هل علي يجي? Why? What is there a difference? Okay, first question: is there a difference? Hmm. Can she hear me? Or is she with her friend? Sister Bashira, would you like to try and tell me if there is a difference between these two? Oh, Sister Bashira left as soon as I asked her the question. No, Assalamualaikum. Oh, oh dear. What do you think, Sister Zeba? Can you?
I can hear.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
I think in the first one, the main focus is on the action of coming, like did he arrive or not, or did he come or not.
Yes.
And the
Good.
second
And
one, I think the person who's coming is in focus basically.
yes. Oh, wow. You must have seen my notes before. No, not really. The word that comes immediately after the question word is usually the point of focus. Yeah. So here we are more concerned about whether Ali has come or not. Here we are asking, is it Ali who came? So this is the two different tones of the question. So word order does affect the question. Yeah, does affect the question. And we said that in this case, alhamdulillah, this is the normal order. The fa'il comes, right? But here, by right, actually, we should not be using hal here. But anyway, this was the example given to me. Yeah, by right, when we change the word order, we would have an a. But what is trying to stress is what comes after the question word. Yeah, whether you are talking about the isim first or does the isim come later. Yeah, so whatever comes after the question word is usually the point of focus or emphasis. Then these are the conditional words that I said that looks exactly like your question words. Mata, ayana, aina, ana. Yeah. So we need to look at the context to know when it's conditional and when it is asking a question. Then ma. Yeah. Ma, when it's preceded by half of jar, strange things happen. It changes its form. Yeah. So this would have been an and ma. It just becomes amma. And you see that the noon is well, the term in tajweed is idgham, isn't it? It's absorbed. It's merged into the ma. And at the same time, the alif goes off. Okay, the reason why they did this is so that we can differentiate the question ma from all the other types of ma. Now, can you think of all the other types of ma? What are all the other types of ma that there is? Believe it or not, there's almost like 10 types of ma's. Okay, we have, of course, our istifham. Then we have the mausul. We have nafi. And the one that resembles Laisa. Then we have Zarfiyah, Masdari, and we have, remember Ma Kafa that we saw before? And then of course we have Ma Zaidah. There's so many types of Ma. But here they have purposely dropped this when we merge it with jar so that we know that this ma has nothing to do with the rest. This ma is a question word. Yeah. So amma, mimma, this is min and ma. Fi, of course, is from fi. Lima, yes. Bima. Now hatama, this is hata, but your maqsura, your alif maqsura has become mamduda. It's become a standing alif the minute you merge it with ma. So this is ila and this is ala. Yeah, but it's become alama, ilama. So this is something useful that we should know about ma. Then the question why, did you notice? My whole list of question words, I didn't have one that said why. Yeah, the whole list of slides that you saw just now, we didn't have why. So why is that? Because actually we take ma and we add li for. So for what? It basically is asking why. Yeah. So lima, limaza, same thing. We don't say limaza in the Quran. I don't think so. But if you come across it, do let me know. But I know maza is there. Yeah. But limaza, I have not come across that. Maybe we use it day to day. Yeah. Let me know where I can find that if it is. Now the za here in maza can be treated in three ways. Isim mausul, isim ishara, or harf zaida. Yeah, this is what you see in Irab books. But to make it simple, usually we just treat maza as one word. And then we say this is a isim istifham. And that's it. But sometimes you see in what they do is they say the ma is the istifham, but the za is isim mausul, and what follows it, the sentence after it is of course your sila. Yeah, that's another way of treating limaza. And here I'm showing you the example of the Irab. Yeah, maza. This is from the Quran. So this is straightforward. Maf'u bihi muqaddam. Remember, question words always come at the front of the sentence. Yes. So that's why it's muqaddam. It's always muqaddam. Or, like I said just now, it becomes just the ma is the isim, and it will have its place, of course, depending on what it is in the sentence. And za will be the isim mausul, and whatever comes after the za is, of course, the sila. Yeah, and together they form a complex isim. So if ma is mubtada, we assume za will be the khabar. Yeah. Okay. This is another example. Alati is what comes after. Matalaha is another way also, whatever follows it. Here we say isim mausul with the meaning of allazi. But I would have thought we would see something like isim ishara with the meaning of allazi. I'm not sure why this one said it this way, but okay, we know what it means. And this is what happens with masa. So now we go back to our exercise. And I need to know how many people can participate, because if not, I'll be asking and no one is replying. Sister Bashira, can you speak, or are you just listening today? Did you type anything in the chat? No? I presume she's listening today because she's in the office normally. Sister Vinita, can you participate? Assalamualaikum. Can she hear me? Looks like you're alone today. What shall we do, Sister Zeba? Are you okay? Are you up to it?
Let's try, inshallah.
Inshallah. Okay, let's both of us struggle to this, because I was looking at it as in how do I make this simple, but there's no simple way around it. We just have to make our mind work. Yeah. Let me get the slide on. Why am I on sorting? Okay, here we are. Okay. So this is not from the Quran, but it's straightforward. What I really just want you to tell me is here's half. So there is no place in Iraq for the half, right? Antum a'lamu. Antum a'lamu. This one I can do with you. Antum is your mubtada. A'lamu is your khabar in a way. Yes. Yeah, this is isim tafdil. And the question is, are you all more knowledgeable or Allah? Yeah. So this is what type of question? Tasdiq or tasawwur?
Should be, you have to answer it. You can't say la or na.
Yeah. So this is tasawwur. Yeah, this is tasawwur. Okay, now here we have kul. Hal unabbi'ukum bisharim min zalika masawbatan indallah. So this one, it is a question, and basically what it says here, this one is of course I inform you all. Yes. What is worse than that as a penalty from Allah? Yeah, than that. Is that right? Yeah. Is this the right meaning? Okay. Can I ask you here also hal? It's half, right? So is there any place of Irab for it? No, right? Any place of Irab, Sister Zeba?
So it's in the beginning of the question, and it has, yeah, because it's, is it maqul al-qawl because it comes after qul? I don't know.
Yeah, this is
Part of
Maqawlu Aqul. Yeah. Yes, it is. Yeah, it's part of it, but the hal itself doesn't have any Irab because it's a half. Yeah, it's a half. Unabbi'ukum bisharin min zalika. Yeah, that's all that I want to establish actually. Yeah, no place in Iraq. So here, wama adraka ma illiyun. Now this is ma. So ma is an isim, right? Ma is an isim. So if it's an isim, what's the status of ma here, do you think? وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا إِلِّيُّونَ.
So is it maf'ul bihi muqaddam?
When you answer the question,
Yeah, like it's in the place of because ma adraka. Like you're
not
asking
so.
about what do you understand?
It won't be a zarf though. You're asking about something, right? Ma adraka ma illiyun. And what can and what adra is to know, right? To know. And what can make you know what is illiyun? So when you answer, illiyun is the ma, right?
So there are like my illiyun is one question. And what will make you understand like that what is illiyun? You can't answer this as well, like
yes or no, right? You have to answer it, yeah. So is this jumla ismiyah, this question? Or is it jumla fi'iliyah?
adraka is adra is what is the
This is past.
Yudri and yeah.
Adra.
It is like failure.
Yeah, okay. But this jumla fi'iliyah, adraka, is it's actually ma. Ma here, right, when it's followed with a jumla fi'iliyah that has a maf'ul bihi, yes, we normally take it as mubtada, the Irab of ma. It gets, it's quite what I will do is maybe I will do some notes on this, yeah, and share it. But there are certain rules, no? There are certain patterns that you look at it, and one of them is like this. One of the conditions is if the question word, the question isim, comes before a fi'il with a maf'ul, yeah, then that ma or the question word is mubtada. Mubtada. That was
and the jumla failure will be like fi mahal khabar.
Yes, that's right. Alhamdulillah. So yeah, but let's go through it, and then because I didn't want to do the summary until we actually went through this whole thing, so that we get a feel of what it's talking about. Now, man fa'ala haza. This is what's what do you mean? Oh, of course, these are the many gods, right? Yeah, they are saying, what have you done to our gods, right? Indeed, he is of the wrongdoers. Whoever has done this to our gods, he is indeed from among the wrongdoers. 21:59. Yeah, man fa'ala. Here again, man is also mubtada, yeah, for the same reason, because we have fi'il and we have the maf'ul. The maf'ul is quite long. Okay, then for this one, mata straightforward, because we said just now that mata is always like a zarf, right? Mata, when. So in this case, this particular zarf, هو قول. How would we translate this? وَيَقُولُونَ مَتَى هُوَ. Because I need to know what's before this, right? Don't want to end this here. I need to know what's the verse before this. I think this example is
like maybe the day of judgment they're asking, like وَيَقُولُونَ مَتَى هُوَ قُلْ عَسَىٰ
yeah.
يَكُونَ قَرِيبًا.
And it is near, yes, perhaps.
Or maybe maybe help from Allah. We don't know. Like we need to read upon that.
Yeah, Isra, is it? Well,
Yeah,
yes.
1750.
Okay, let's see what it is about. Do you have it with you?
Just open it.
Because if I open this, I lose the slideshow.
51, yeah.
1751. But this looks more like a haba muqaddam, isn't it? Because we have huwa, mata huwa, right? Looks more like a haba muqaddam, and this is the habar.
So it says, 51. Yeah, it says, substance of which your mind appears yet farther removed, and if thereupon they ask, who is that will bring us back? He who has brought you into being in the first instance. And if thereupon they shake their heads and ask, when shall this be? Say thou, it may will be soon. So I think it's about they will be brought back again to life.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that's mata. Then we have ayana. Ayana is another zarf, but it's muta'alliq to something. More zarfs are muta'alliq to something actually. This is, look, both of them should be muta'alliq to something. Okay, never mind. We'll just go through the examples and then do the exercise of Irab. So kaifa, here it's said to be hal, yeah, because it answers the question of how. Wa iz qala Ibrahimu Rabbi arini kaifa tuhiyil mauta. So he's basically saying arini is to show, right? To show me how you give life to the dead. Yeah, how you give life to the dead. So kaifa here is how, which is hal. And we have, this is aina. Yeah, aina is a case of where are you? Just like for aina tashabun. So here is another zarf, and it will be muta'alliq probably to another haba muqaddam, because it's normally like that. Because it comes in front of you when you answer it, right? Where, and then I'm going here. So it's more like that. Just like the other one that we saw just now, mata. And here is anna, slightly different, but it looks about the same. Yeah, but like it's also how here. In this case, this anna is how. Remember, this anna has 3 different forms. It can either answer the question how, or where, and when. And then when, as I said, doesn't appear in the Quran. So anna yuhil hazihi Allahu ba'da mautiha. So same thing. So this is also another question of hal, anna. And qultum anna haza. What do you think this is?
No, what is this?
Is it that? What question does it ask, Anna? Here.
No. Like, what is this? It feels like, what is that? Qul anna hadha.
Qultum anna haza is more like from where it is. Yeah, from where is this? And then he answers, huwa min indi anfusakum, from yourselves. This one I remember. This one I remember, Sister Seva. This one is when they were in Uhud and they were losing. And they said, where is all this, kind of misfortune coming? Why is this all happening? And then they answered, in anfusakum. Yeah, because they didn't follow instructions, right? They were told to stay up on the, and they came down. So this is the case. Yeah. So kultum anna. This is from where. So it's another case of not really place. Like what we saw just now with Maryam. So similar to that. But still, the question is where. Come, we know about quantity. Yes, come, we know about quantity. So here Allah is reminding them or asking Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam to ask Bani Israel, just how many times have I given? No, not Nabi. This would be Nabi Musa, isn't it? What do you think, Sister Zeba? Ask them how many times I've given them clear signs.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. So this is not really he wants to know the answer. Allah knows the answer, yeah. But the question is, of course, still how many times? Yeah, how many?
To make them reflect, how.
Yeah, yes, more for reflection. What do you call that? What do we call that, yeah? When it is to make them think and reflect. Can't remember. I have to go the whole list again. Now we're going through the different types of ayu that I could find. Here ayu shay'in. Yeah, it's always mudaf ilay. Yep, it always in an idafa. So here, in this case, it will be mubtada. Yeah. Of the, because of the makawakul. And here, we saw this just now. So this was actually naibul maf'ul mutlaq. Yeah. Of yang qalibun. This is an important thing to remember. It can never be muta'alik to something before. Yeah, because it is by de facto always at the beginning of the question. Yeah, always at the beginning of the question. It cannot be anywhere else but the beginning. So it can only muta'alik to something that comes after it, not before. So you won't say this I goes back to saya'alamu, for example. It will always go back to whatever is after it. So in this case, it's yun qalibun, and it is naibul maf'ul mutlaq, yeah, because, well, as you can see, it's not the masdar of this verb, yeah, neither is it the masdar of a verb with the similar meaning, yeah. So but at the same time, it does go back to this. So that's why we call it naibul maf'ul mutlaq, in the place of maf'ul mutlaq. This is just to emphasize. Remember, is to في أي سورة ما شاء رقبك. So this again, this is isim majrur because it comes after fi. Yeah, comes after fi. Alhamdulillah. Okay. So yeah, we've done the exercises. We didn't do the Irab because I just want to go through with you in terms of where is it in the sentence, what is it doing in the sentence. Yeah, we know that it's always at the beginning of the question, although it looks like it's in the middle of a verse. Yeah, but it is actually at the beginning of the sentence. Yeah, aina shurakaukum allazina kuntum tazumun. Yes, this one, for example, this is a question. Where are your partners? Yeah, where are your partners? Whom does umun refer to? Is it this verb? I can't remember what it means. Can you look it up, Sister Zeba?
That umun is like, do you, za'ama is more like, what do you think type,
Okay. So, aina shurakaukum allazina kuntum
Like
Those are
who you used to be relying on or something.
okay. So this is basically the question that's being asked to them. Yeah. So then we'll say to those who associated others with Allah, yeah, where are your partners? The ones that you used to refer to or whatever you were saying. Yep, that's Allah. Yep, that's Allah. Okay. So always at the beginning of the sentence, and whatever question it answers, usually if the answer to the question is Rafa, then probably the question word is also Rafa, because that's how it goes. Yeah, usually. That's how we look at it. Except for the cases where it's a clear-cut Zarf, then Zarf, of course, is always Nasab. Yeah, it's always Nasab. And here it changes depending on what is the placing in the sentence itself. We'll do this. This can only become more and more clear as we go and do more and more Irab. So I'm hoping that this will be the case, inshallah. So any questions before we end for tonight? Alhamdulillah. Yes. Apparently we can finish it in a day because we only have Sister Zeba participating. Alhamdulillah. Subhanallah. I'll put up the notes as usual. Yeah, inshallah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
in the what the topic tells is that when we do the Arab, then only Ayu will get different harakat, but
Yes.
others will remain the same. So whether whatever position they're, if they're mubtada or if they are in the place of khabar or anything, but they will be mabni always. That's what
Yeah.
you wanted to emphasize.
Yes. Yes, that's right. So this will be Mahliyun, yeah? And this is only Mu'rabun. This is the only one that's Mu'rabun. And then to remember that there are some which are short. So we need to know the context before we decide the Irab on them. Yeah? Okay, inshallah. All right then. Alhamdulillah. Subhanallah wa bihamdik. Nash'adu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Walaikum salam. Jazakallah khair.
Amin wa iyyakum. See you next week, Sister Zeba, inshallah.
Inshallah.